Well, it's potato planting time, and I got some real nice seed potatoes from the feed store close to me, and had them for about 2-3 weeks, and they're already starting to sprout a little bit. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna plant tomorrow. I've heard a lot of people say that you want to cut your potatoes up and let them sit for about 24 hours for that meat, that white part, to kind of callus over, and I think it's less susceptible to rot that way. Going to be planting these in the Back to Eden garden, one of the 2 Back to Eden spots that I have. Did not plant there at all last year. It's been sitting there for almost 2 years probably, and just mulching down, and should be really nice. So let me just show you what I'm doing. I try to have on each piece, I'm gonna try to have at least 2 eyes. Sometimes it's one that's already started sprouting, sometimes it's not. There's the other eye, but at least 2 eyes. That way, if something happens, if that one gets knocked off or something like that, then the other eye has an opportunity. So just giving yourself a little bit better opportunity. And you want some meat. You want the potato to have some meat to it. As I understand it, that kind of keeps it alive and helps it, until it really roots. And I don't know, it's just what the old timers do. They like to have a little bit of meat in there and like to have 2 eyes. One, 2, 3 good eyes, then that's coming. That'll be a prospective eye. So I'll do that. I hope big seed potatoes means big potatoes. I hope that's the genetics are in the potato. I don't know that. That would be nice. You make sure you don't cut through an eye and kill it. I'm sure there's a lot of people going to tell me that I'm wasting a lot, that I could get maybe 4 pieces out of this, that I'm wasting a lot of potential from that little guy. But I bought a lot more than I probably should have. I think about 15 pounds, and I was only going to plant 1 or 2 rows. So if I was if times were hard and I need to get everything I could get, I would slice off, maybe like this, come in here like that, and I would get maybe 6 or 8 out of that. But again, I'm gonna have more taters, more seed potatoes than I probably have rows. So I'm not worried about wasting anything. Okay, so I'm out in the Back to Eden garden, going to plant the potatoes, set up a straight line. I like a string line. I do like everything to be straight. I'm going to be using this old wheel horse. Wife got it. She's buys and sells antiques, and all metal, old metal wheel, metal handles, metal everything. Even the grips are metal. And I used it some last year or year before last, and it did a real good job in the wood chips. So we'll do that. I think I'll probably have to clean out the fur some with a rake or with a hoe, because it doesn't that plowshare, middle buster, sweep, whatever you want to call it, doesn't throw the chips out real great, but it will get down pretty deep, and we'll do it. So anyway, the wheel horse does a decent job. Again, you've got to go through there with a rake and kind of clean out the middles, but probably gonna have to do that no matter what you do, right? Even if you till it, you're gonna have to come through and with a middle buster, with a rake, hoe, something, and pull the dirt out. So I'll plant these. I'll I'll try to get down to the dirt. It's not as important this year simply because I've got some real good compost down there now. And the dirt is pretty good ways down there. But I'll try to get down to the soil and plant them in that. So I cleaned out the fur with, started out with a hoe, and the rake seemed to work better. And let's put some taters in it. Okay, so I placed my cut potatoes again with the meaty side down. The shoots coming up about 12 inches apart. About 12 inches apart. And I'll work them down in there a little bit. I want them to make sure they got good contact with the soil, and I did get down pretty close to the soil. Now, if you, let me make this clear. The reason I'm not concerned as much about getting down to the soil is because these wood chips have been sitting here for 2 or 3 years. They have mulched down to where it's just about solid compost. If I was in the soil, you'd be seeing red clay. So the soil is quite a ways down, I think. But if you have just started a Back to Eden garden, you have got to plant in soil. You've got to get down to the dirt. Now you can lay your seed just on top of the dirt, cover it with wood chips, but the seed has to be touching the dirt. In this case, my seed potatoes are touching compost, that black, earthy, good looking, beautiful compost. But if you're new to Back to Eden garden, don't think you can just go out there and throw a bunch of wood chips down and this year on a garden, and it's going to be just a wonderful thing. It takes several years for you to really see an improvement in your soil. Now it'll start retaining moisture right away. You'll see that you don't have to water as much. But the chips themselves take quite a while to break down. Again, 2 or 3 years is what it took for these. The best time to do Back to Eden is in the fall. The best time to spread the wood chips is in the fall. Let them mulch down all winter long. If they don't, if you don't get a lot of rain, then wet them down. That hastens the composting. You could even throw some blood meal, stuff like that on it if you wanted to give them a little extra nitrogen, but I don't know whether it's necessary. Anyway, so I'll do this, and then I'll just come back with my rake and cover these up. So the idea is to put about 3 to 4 inches of chips on top of them. I don't want to, I've got a big mound on this side over here that I could pull on them. I will when they start peeking through, start coming up a little bit, then I will definitely bring some more on top of them, and probably even take this side and push this side over on them too, and make a mound of wood chips once they really start putting up a their vegetation. But I don't want to pile it up right now. I don't want to put 6 or 8 inches of wood chips on them right now. I'll wait for them to come up, and then as the vegetation increases, my wood chips will pile up around them and make just a mound, and hopefully they'll come up. We'll see how it goes. And I'll let you know. If they don't come up, I'll tell you. I'll show you my failures as well as my not so failures.